Hello dear students, welcome to Prerna. In the last class we had discussed on the factors that led to the civil war in England. And in that class I had in fact given various reasons which led to the resentment from the side of the parliament. The ruler Charles I was not liked by the parliament for numerous reasons, which included his political policies, his ways to raise taxes, and also his religious policies, which in fact isolated certain groups of people, which in fact sidelined certain groups of people. So Charles first was not liked by the people in general. And here in this class, we're going to discuss about the civil war that happened in England, which ultimately led to the execution of the ruler, that was Charles first. So in this class, I'll be discussing about the Civil War, the Puritan Revolution which happened afterwards, and also the role of Oliver Cromwell in creating the Puritan Revolution. So let us see the slides. So here, I had discussed numerous factors which led to the civil war. Let me start once again with what happened in 1640 when Charles I convened the Long Parliament. It was after 11 years of tyranny when he had ruled all alone, but then the war with Scotland forced him to convene the Long Parliament. It was called the Long Parliament because it, in fact, technically, it remained until 1660. Okay, though the ruler got beheaded in between, this particular parliament continued technically till 1660. That means almost 2 decades, and that is why it was called the Long Parliament. Let us see what happened in the Long Parliament. In 1640, he convened the Long Parliament, but the Long Parliament did not support the king in any way. The parliamentarians, they saw to it that the king's powers got restricted, limited, and they in fact passed numerous laws which made royal tyranny impossible in the future. Now that created a large number of what to say issues between the king and the parliament. King was forced to abolish the ship money, and parliament also passed an act which in fact forbidden or which in fact led to the king not being able to dissolve the parliament without the consent of the parliamentarians or members. King was forbidden to dissolve the parliament without considering or consulting the parliament. Okay, so that was another major act. So you could see how the parliament, which was an action in 1640, tried to control a lot of powers which the king had. Now, how did the king react to this particular treatment? You could see how the ruler wanted to arrest a few members who belonged to the House of Commons. They were the ones who created lots of issues, members of the House of Commons. So, by this time, these 5 members had escaped, and that resulted in a sort of friction between the king and parliament, and finally the civil war broke out. So these are the causes which ultimately led to the civil war of 1642. So you can see civil war, Abhyantara Kalabam. It was in fact fought between the royalists, that means those who supported the ruler, and those who opposed him, okay, those who were not loyal to him. So that point we had discussed how the whole of England, how we could see there were 2 groups, the Cavaliers and the Roundheads. Cavaliers were of course the royalists, since they rode on horses. They were the Cavaliers, and then the Roundheads, because they cropped their hair in a particular round pattern, and those were the parliamentarians. So the Cavaliers, like you can see who all formed the Cavalier group: nobility, the wealthy landowners, the high Anglican clergy, and the Catholics. They were the Cavaliers. Now, the Roundheads were middle class people who had aspirations, they had lots of ambitions, they were also small landowners, and of course, Puritans. Puritans were people who wanted a very austere living, and Oliver Cromwell, you can say, was the most ardent Puritan of the period. Now, you could see at this time how, though the royalists had initial victories, very soon Oliver Cromwell, the Puritan group, they created another army, the New Model Army. And this New Model Army of the parliamentarians, the Puritans, defeated the royalists. And you could see Charles was defeated. That means the royalist king was defeated in 1648. Let's see what happened after that. Now, a quarrel ensued in the parliament that was regarding dethroning Charles. There were people still in England who wanted Charles first to continue. And in the parliament itself, you could see how there was also another group who did not want Charles first to continue. So the Roundheads, what they did was to appoint a person, a colonel. He was Colonel Thomas Pride. He was asked to exclude, to remove, or to in fact put out all those people who wanted to preserve monarchy, members who wanted to preserve monarchy. And Pride did that. So, and that incident came to be known as Pride's Purge. Okay, Colonel Thomas Pride forcing certain members out of the parliament, those who wanted to continue monarchy. So they were put out of the parliament, and that was known as Pride's Purge. Now, after the Pride's Purge, a few members were left, and that is known as the Rump Parliament. Okay, Rump Parliament. Rump actually means the backside of a mammal, but in this context you can say how it means remnant, ബാക്കിയുള്ള remnant, REMNANT, ബാക്കിയുള്ളതെന്നുള്ള meaning. So the people who were left over എന്നുള്ള meaning ആണ്. അതായത് കുറേ പേരെ പുറത്താക്കി ബാക്കിയുള്ള ഗ്രൂപ്പിനെ അവരെയാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത് റംപ്. സോ ദ റംപ് പാർലമെന്റ് came into being എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഈ റംപ് പാർലമെന്റ് constituted mainly of members who wanted to put an end to monarchy, and you could see how that decision led to the execution of ruler Charles I got executed in 1649. Now, with the executions of the ruler, that means this is something very strange. A ruler to get executed by his own people, that happened in English history, which once again reaffirmed the belief that the people in England had, that a ruler was not supposed to rule as per divine right, but as per the rule of law. ഒരു റൂൾ ഓഫ് ജനഹിതം അനുസരിച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഭരിക്കേണ്ടത്, അല്ലാതെ ദൈവഹിതം മാനിച്ചിട്ടല്ല എന്നുള്ളൊരു വിശ്വാസം, അത് ആണ് ഇത് ഈ രാജാവിനെ കൊല്ലുന്നത് വരെ എത്തുന്നത്. So House of Lords as a body was abolished എന്ന് തന്നെ പറയും, lost all its prominence, and England became a republic after the Civil War. Okay, England became a republic, and that republic, that government which was formed after the execution of Charles I, was known as the Commonwealth. It was known as the Commonwealth. Okay, here when we discuss the Commonwealth, you can also say that it was in a way a revolution, a revolt made by the Puritans. ഓക്കെ, കോമൺവെൽത്ത് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് ഈ പ്യൂറിറ്റൻസ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് അവരെ അതിനെ വേറൊരു പേരിൽ വിളിക്കാം. യു കെൻ കോൾ ഇറ്റ് എസ് പ്യൂറിറ്റൻ റെവല്യൂഷൻ. പ്യൂറിറ്റൻ ആരാണ് നമുക്കത് നോക്കാം. Puritans were, religious sects in England in 16th and 17th century. Those who believed that the Anglican reform made by Queen Elizabeth was not enough. They wanted to detach from all sorts of ceremonies of Roman Catholic Church. They wanted much more simple and austere living. Basic living. They were the pure എന്നുള്ള meaning, purity. They wanted to reform church even more. അപ്പോൾ ആംഗ്ലിക്കൻസ് അല്ല, വേറൊരു വിഭാഗമാണ് extreme Puritans എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പം they had a kind of what to say, censorious beliefs in certain things, especially self-indulgence, സുഖലോലുപതയായാലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ regarding sexual life, they had a lot of restrictions. members. So they were the Puritans who believed that that was not important. സുഖിച്ച് ജീവിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യമേ ഇല്ല എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ് Puritans. So that is the role of Puritans. So we are discussing about the most ardent Puritan of the period, that is Oliver Cromwell. Since it was a change which was brought in by Oliver Cromwell, the Puritan, it also came to be known as a Puritan Revolution. സിവിൽ വാറിന് ശേഷമുള്ള ഒരു ഭരണമാറ്റത്തിന് പ്യൂറിറ്റൻ റെവല്യൂഷൻ എന്ന് വിളിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ഒലിവർ ക്രോംവെൽ 1649-58, that was a period when he was, importance. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ റെവല്യൂഷൻ പ്യൂറിറ്റൻ റെവല്യൂഷൻ. He was the most ardent Puritan. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കീഴിൽ England actually became a military dictatorship. That means he was a dictator who ruled like a military general. You could see how the whole of England was divided into military districts. That's how he governed. And he continued to have a lot of frictions with the Rum Parliament. You must be thinking he must have had a good time since the ruler got beheaded. No, he continued to have frictions, tiffs with the Rum Parliament. So Parliament continued to oppose him in a lot of ways. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹം എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? ഹി ഫോഴ്സ്ഫുള്ളി ഡിസോൾവ് ദ പാർലമെന്റ് ഇൻ 1653. അദ്ദേഹം തന്നെ തീരുമാനിക്കുകയാണ് ഇനി വേണ്ട, പാർലമെന്റ് വേണ്ട എന്നുള്ള തീരുമാനത്തിൽ ഡിസോൾവ് ചെയ്യാണ് പാർലമെന്റിന്. ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ഇൻ 1653. ദിസ് ഇസ് ദ ഇമേജ് ഓഫ് ഒലിവർ ക്രോംവെൽ ഫോർ യു. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇമേജ് ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി ഈ 1653ക്ക് ശേഷം വാട്ട് ഹി ഡിഡ് വാസ് ഹി റൂൾഡ് അലോൺ. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് പീരിയഡ് ഇസ് നോൺ ആസ് എ പ്രൊട്ടക്ടറേറ്റ്. പ്രൊട്ടക്ടറേറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആ ഒരു കാലത്തിനെയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് he took a title ലോർഡ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ടർ. ലോർഡ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ടർ ആരാണ്? ഒലിവർ ക്രോംവെൽ. അപ്പം അദ്ദേഹമായി he became the ultimate authority, nobody to question. He was not ready to consult the parliament or anybody. He even passed a written constitution which was known as the instrument of government. And this particular instrument of government decided to make a parliament which was a single chambered body, a single house of 460 members. So you can see how House of Lords by this time had lost all its importance. As I told you, he divided the whole territory into 12 districts. Now, who supported him? You could see him getting support mainly from army and the middle class. Okay, now what did he do predominantly? You could see him coming up with a code that was known as a Puritan code, which was very severe for a normal human being. Because normally എല്ലാവർക്കും കുറച്ച് നല്ല ജീവിതം ആഘോഷിക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ള ആൾക്കാരാണ് ഭൂരിപക്ഷം ആൾക്കാരും. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ ഇദ്ദേഹം ചെയ്യുന്നത് he brought a code, the Puritan code, which restricted the life of people. He prohibited drinking, dancing, theatrical performances, games, amusements, and so people's life became very dull. ഇതൊന്നുമില്ല, തിയേറ്ററില്ല, ഡ്രാമയില്ല, ഒന്നുമില്ല. പീപ്പിൾ ലെഡ് വെരി ബോറിംഗ് ലൈഫ് ഇൻ ദ പ്യൂറിറ്റൻ പീരിയഡ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ബിലീഫാണ് പ്യോർ, സിമ്പിൾ. ആൻഡ് വൈ ഡു യു ഹാവ് ടു വേസ്റ്റ് യുവർ മണി ഫോർ ടു സേ ceremonies and feasting and lavish living? That was his question. So simple life which beyond a point people were not ready to accept. So now, regarding his reforms, administrative reforms, he was such a dictator that he was able to suppress a lot of rebellions in Scotland and Ireland. Then he took measures which improved the economic stability, sambathika bhadrata kuti of England. Then he also was able to maintain a very successful anti-Spanish foreign policy. These were some of his noted changes or reforms. Now, after Oliver Cromwell's period, you could see again there was political instability. His son Richard actually came into power. He was not powerful like his father. So, asthirata, rashtriyamaയിട്ടുള്ള asthirata, that continued, political instability. Now, when this continued, Parliament wanted to put an end to it, and there was a person, General George Monk. He decided to put an end to this political stability, and he and his group, They wanted to bring back monarchy once again. So by this time, Charles II, that is the son of Charles first, beheaded ruler, അദ്ദേഹം മരിച്ചുപോയ കൊല്ലപ്പെട്ട രാജാവിൻ്റെ മകൻ ചാൾസ് സെക്കൻഡ്, അദ്ദേഹം ഫ്രാൻസിലാണ് വലിയ ആളായിട്ടുണ്ടപ്പോഴേക്കും. സോ ഹീ വാസ് ബ്രോട്ട് ബാക്ക്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിന് ജനറൽ മങ്കിൻ്റെ കൂടെ നിന്ന ഒരു വിഭാഗമുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ അതിനെ വിളിക്കുന്നത് കൺവെൻഷൻ പാർലമെൻറ്റ് എന്നാണ്. കൺവെൻഷൻ പാർലമെൻ്റ് ആണ് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോഴേക്കും എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് കൺവെൻഷൻ പാർലമെൻറ്റ് വീണ്ടും ഇത്തരത്തിലൊരു തീരുമാനത്തിലെത്തുന്നത്? ബൈ ദിസ് ടൈം ഒലിവർ ക്രോംവെൽ ഹാഡ് ഗിവൺ സച്ച് എ റൂൾ ദാറ്റ് പീപ്പിൾ ഹേറ്റഡ് austere living, simplicity and Puritan life. They started thinking ruler was much more better, monarchy was much more better, and it was this decision which made General Monk invite Charles II, who was at that time in France, to come and accept the throne, to be the ruler of England once again. So that incident that happened, in 1660. 1660 നടക്കുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഇസ് നോൺ ആസ് റെസ്റ്റോറേഷൻ, റീസ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പം എന്തിനാണ് റീസ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്തത്? മൊണാർക്കിനെ. അപ്പം ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലണ്ടിലെ ആൾക്കാരുടെ ഒരു സൈക്കോളജിക്കാണെങ്കിൽ ദേ ഹാവ് എ ക്ലോസ്നെസ് ഓർ എ ഫോണ്ട്നെസ് ടു മൊണാർക്കി. ഇപ്പോഴും നമുക്കറിയാലോ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദ ഫ്യൂ കൺട്രീസ് ഇൻ ദ വേൾഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഇൻ ഫാക്ട് ഹാസ് മൊണാർക്കി എന്ന് പറയുന്നൊരു അവർ ടേക്ക് പ്രൈഡ് ഇൻ ഓൾ ദോസ് സെറിമണീസ് ആൻഡ് റിച്വൽസ് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ. അപ്പം ഇത് നടക്കുന്നത് 1660, that was in 1660 when the convention parliament decided to bring back Charles II. So you could see how he was restored to power. That means monarchy was restored. Monarchy was restored, and very soon you could see a lot of changes happening. So the House of Lords by this time, which had got abolished by Oliver Cromwell, rose into prominence in this period. House of Lords became Tiruchiveriyanam, that is the group of nobles. They again came back into power. Anglican Church also got prominence. So this particular event, the restoration, in fact created an equilibrium between the king and parliament. അതായത് കിങ്ങിനെ വിളിക്കുമ്പം ഒരു വാർണിംഗ് കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. അതായത് അച്ഛൻ ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൈ കൊണ്ടാണ് മരിക്കുന്നത്. Your father got executed, and you have to bear that in mind. But you can't rule according to your whims and fancies. We have a set of laws for you. Parliament ആണ് പറയുന്നത്. And you have to abide by those laws. And you can't raise taxes. You can't rule without the parliament and rule according to your discretion. പക്ഷേ എന്നിരുന്നാലും we want a monarch back, and we believe that monarchy is better than a protectorate or commonwealth. That's what people of England, generally parliament, decided at that point of time in 1660, and that is what is known as the restoration. So the English restoration of 1660. So in fact in this class discuss a whole lot of events from Civil War, the Puritan Revolution, and then finally Oliver Cromwell, and also at the end restoration, how Charles II became the ruler of England. Okay.